It's that time again to count down my top 10 favorite games of 2025. 2025 was a wild year with the release of Nintendo Switch 2 that had so many cool games coming out for it, plus Game Chat, GameCube games, Game Share, Mouse Mode, and so much more. How many Switch 2 games are on this list? How many games did I actually beat this year? Are there remasters or re-releases on the list? Well, you're just going to have to stay tuned to find out. And oh yeah, we are not including Donkey Kong Bananzas in this list. There's enough talk about that guy and his donkey butt all over the place, so let's get going to the countdown without him. Coming in at number 10 is not one game, but 50 games. UFO 50, that is. This game is a collection of many games from an alternative timeline and a make-believe developer, and that is UFO Soft. Some of the games even have sequels and backstories on the development of them, and there are so many games to pick from the NES, Super Nintendo era, made with modern gameplay mechanics. There's not a genre missing in this collection of games. They have RPGs, horror, action, strategy, racing, sports, you name it. There's so many choices to dust off and dive into. You only need one to fall in love with to make the collection worth it, but there are so many great entries in there. And it's the cheapest game on this list, and definitely the best value, so get out there and get it now. Mega evolving into the number 9 position is Pokemon Legends Z through A. The Legends series has been going a different way, and this one takes the Pokemon franchise to new heights, literally. We are going urban in this game to switch things up from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Legends ZA takes place entirely in Lumio City, and in the future instead of the past. You arrive in the city as your customizable character, get to stay in a hotel, and shop for all of the city's hottest fashion gear. What I really liked about this game is the focus on battles this time around. There are parts of the city that become battle zones when the sun sets, and you'll get points for defeating other trainers that you build up to challenge the next letter and build up your rank. There are also wild areas with various Pokemon to catch. You can throw the ball whenever you want, and now they give you a chance to catch them after they faint instead of carefully whittling down their HP. Mega Evolutions make a major comeback as well, in that you will need the Mega Evolved form of your creature to even put a dent in the bosses. And speaking of difficult enemies, the Alphas are back. Look out for them because they can knock you out quickly, and I'm talking about you as in the trainer, not just the Pokemon. The battle mechanic has changed as well in the way that now the moves are more action-based with cooldown times instead of being turn-based. Even Nintendo themselves called it an action game on the eShop. So head on down to the Poke Center and get yourself a copy of this game, plus a lot of super potions in case you get ambushed by alpha types, because they're fucking tough. Social linking in at the number 8 spot is Persona 3 Reload. Persona 3 Reload is finally on Switch 2, and it looks and sounds fantastic. You are a high schooler, but something is amiss. Midnight hour has come, and everyone except for you and your select group of friends has turned into coffins? Why not you? What is this giant building doing here? Why is Junpei so annoying? Do you have what it takes to scale the Tartarus and beat the shadows? Oh, and don't forget that since you're a high schooler, you still gotta go to school and pass your finals, and join clubs and hang out with your friends and build your social links. Social links are based on different tarot cards that have to do with the type of personas that you have. And what are personas? Well, you find them in the Tartarus, which is the giant building that appeared in town, as you scale multiple floors to build the perfect team. Did I mention that you have to shoot yourself in the head to trigger a persona? How metal is that? In the Velvet Room, which is a room from another dimension that you have to go to, you can combine your personas to make even stronger ones, and there are many different types based on religious characters and mythological creatures. When you are not in the Tartarus looking for persona, you can hang out with your friends and cook food, grow crops, study for finals, go to dinner, watch movies, even fall in love. All of this while listening to a kick-ass soundtrack. And there is a big emphasis on the phases of the moon for every day in the calendar, and every full moon you have to fight a giant boss, so be prepared. Will you have enough time to max out your skills, social links, and pass your finals? Get your personas in check, stock up on life beads, and head down to the Tartarus to pick up this gem of a game. Ray tracing in at number 7 is Star Wars Outlaws. This game is one of the first impossible ports for the Switch 2. It was on PS5 and not 4, and it appears to be the only game that has ray tracing so far. The game runs really well and looks real nice. You take on the role of Kay Vess, a scoundrel smuggler, and her charming pet Nyx. You can use Nyx to spy on your opponents during card games and distract enemies. This game takes place between Empire and Return, just like Shadows of the Empire, so this game is much easier to control. You can even call Kay the new Dash Rendar. The game is complete with the DLC as well, so you can find it in your playthrough, even the Lando stuff. You don't even need to beat it. You do jobs for the 3 main factions, the Hutts, Crimson Dawn, and the Pikes. The way you play each faction will have an effect on the game. If you are on bad terms with the Pikes, they will try to kill you if you end up in their territory. Same with the Empire. You can get on a wanted list for killing too many stormtroopers, but there are ways out of that too. You can have space battles and travel from planet to planet, assembling your crew and hunting down that one guy. Don't forget about your handy speeder. You can call it whenever you want, and it controls like a dream. There are plenty of side quests and sabacc tables to keep you entertained for many hours on end, so get your credits together and head to your local merchant to buy yourself this game.
Let's drive.
Whoa, Nyx! You hanging on back there?
Punching its way to the number 6 spot is Yakuza Kiwami 2. Did you know that we got not 1, not 2, but 3 Yakuza games this year for the Switch 2? Well, this is definitely the best one out right now. It uses the newest engine from the new Like a Dragon games, so now you can walk freely into buildings without loading. And the fights can be had inside now too. Kiryu is back with another action-packed story, and there's even a great Majima side game that shows you how it made it to Majima Construction, and of course, that has its own minigame as well. Return to Kamurocho to do all of the fun things like going out to eat at the best restaurants, playing darts at the bars, practicing your approach shot at the golf spot, hitting the batting cages, singing out your feelings at karaoke, punching people at Virtua Fighter 2, fighting all the mechs in Virtual On, playing the legendary restroom games, or whatever you want to call this.
Oh, nice.
They have revitalized the system of leveling up now, with achievements that you can do to get specific points to level up your health or your defense or whatever. You can make friends with various people throughout the town through side quests that will help you during the battles. And the side quests are as zany as they've ever been. Of course, this wouldn't be the best Yakuza game without the best minigame of all time. The Hostess Club makes an appearance, and you can bring the girls whatever they need to your heart's content. Did I mention that you can punch a tiger and a lion? You might even see some familiar faces in the Coliseum, like the Rainmaker, Kazuchika, Okada. So get your yen together and go buy a wooden katana at the Papo Mart and head out to bust some Yakuza heads in this badass brawler.
いい戦いぶりだったぞ。
Have you ever gone fishing with your mind? I bet you'd be good at it.
I've never tried. Let's finish this race in a hurry and go fishing.
Power sliding into the number 5 spot is Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Sonic Racing Crossworlds to me was the best racing game released this year. We even got a Switch 2 update with 60 frames per second and 4K. This game stands out from all of the rest, with each race being unique because you warp to a different place on every second lap, and the place you go to is chosen by whoever's in first, so that adds an extra layer of complexity to the race. Also, there are changes in the third lap when you warp back. You can transform into air and water vehicles in the races, just like Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing Transformed. There are plenty of excellent races to choose from, and the DLC ones have been top-notch. Sega has laid out a full year of paid DLC and free DLC coming up from other Sega properties and other game franchises, so you know exactly what you're getting from this game. Whenever there's a new free or paid character added, they have a weekend festival where you can unlock decals for your cars through team races. You are chosen into teams that are based on the characters from each franchise, and there are different team racing modes where you can collect coins, bounce off your teammates, shoot however many opponents that you can. It's even possible to get the win with these conditions, even if you don't place high enough in the race. You can customize your car in this game to your liking. There are different sets based on control, speed, boost, and power. You can even race with the hoverboards from Sonic Riders. There's special gear items that you can equip to give you a specific edge for each race. Specific rivals will be chosen for every Grand Prix or Race Park challenge, so look out because they will be gunning for you. There's plenty of cars to unlock in the Grand Prix and Race Park, so you'll have plenty to do. So collect all of your Donpa tickets and get down to the shop to pick up this Chaos Emerald of a racer now. Get some rank up in here.
Show them how
Rank
it's
up in
done.
here.
Victory's so sweet, I gotta savor it.
わしを拒んだ。小賢しいわ。
Grinding in to the number 4 spot is Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD2D Remake. Dragon Quest 1, or Dragon Warrior 1 in the States, was the first console RPG of all time, and one of the few notable RPGs to only have one party member. In this remake, you still only have one party member, but once you save the princess, if you choose to carry her all the way to the end, you will kind of have two. They have made Dragon Quest much harder this time around. In the original, you only had one character, but you only had to fight one enemy at a time. In this game, you may have to fight many characters just by yourself. There's even a boss where you have 3 enemies that you have to beat at the same time in order to win. That's one of the hardest bosses I've ever played. This is Dragon Quest on steroids, and I'm here for it. I've always enjoyed the simplicity of the original game. This game still sort of has that, but now they've created a story around each of the items that you collected in the original game. This makes it feel more like a new game than a remake. Dragon Quest II, on the other hand, does a great job of making the characters more interesting by giving them more spoken motivation. You also get a new character to help you out at the beginning. If you've been missing the OG RPG content, this is the game for you. I did beat the first game in this collection while carrying the princess the whole way, so I recommend that you do that too. Gather all of the Erdrick armor and cross the Rainbow Bridge and offer up your life to the Dragon Lord in exchange for this game.
物を受け取るがよい。お前に世界の半分、闇の世界を与えよう。
Sarge!
Armstrong, you all right?
I'm good. You?
Yes.
While I was waiting, I was studying this hologram. I just... Wow. Samus? It's really you. I don't even know what to say. Is this a new suit? It's amazing. I love it. I love it so much.
Private.
Blasting its way to the number 3 spot is Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Samus is back after waiting 18 years since the release of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, and 8 years after the announcement of Prime 4 on one of the Switch's very first directs. Metroid Prime 4 is finally here, and the game looks amazing, whether you play it on Switch 1 or 2. Samus now has psychic powers. They're just like regular powers, but psychic. Everyone's favorite villain Sylux is back again to bring the pain to Samus. The environments are beautiful, the music is amazing, and it definitely has that Prime feel. It feels great to explore each and every area and to get those upgrades that will help you get to the next part, just like any Metroid-style game. There may be some in-between vehicle stuff that might get a little monotonous, but put on some good tunes and you won't notice it at all. They have added more companions this time around, but their involvement is really not that much. Not as much as some video game coverage places would like you to think. I had no trouble beating this game and had a really hard time playing anything else, and that says a lot. It's gripping from the beginning to the end. Even the annoying control shot becomes cool in the end. I'm so glad that it finally made its debut, and I can't wait to see what they do with Prime 5, and hopefully not so many years from now. So fill up your energy tanks and missiles, and head over to that tower to demand your copy of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond from Sylux, now! Soaring its way up to the number 2 spot is Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. We are now past the dark times when this game was only available on the Wii U. Rejoice! Now everyone who owns a Switch can experience the beauty of Xenoblade Chronicles X. It isn't just a re-release. There are many modern upgrades that have been added. Now you can switch characters on the fly instead of hunting them down every time in New LA. The affinity for your teammates goes up much quicker now, so you can unlock their specific character-driven missions easier, not to mention that now there is an additional chapter after that cliffhanger ending. I haven't beat that yet, but I did get to the original ending and credits, and it took less than 200 hours this time. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom owe a lot to Xenoblade Chronicles X, and you can see it in the structure of the world. Monolith Soft has become a powerhouse developer for Nintendo, and you can tell why from this game. There are very few RPGs that give you that moment of freedom and relief when you first get your airship or whatever vehicle, and everything becomes reachable. Xenoblade Chronicles X does that very thing when you get your flight license for the first time for your Skell. After about 60 hours in the game, it finally opens up, and there's so much more to do, and they make you work for it. Did I mention how amazing the soundtrack is? You'll wonder how it was ever possible to play a video game without this soundtrack once you've heard it. Not to mention the compelling character story and side quests that you can do in this game. And there's so many of them. And it can't be a Xenoblade game without an incredible battle system as well. There's so much to do here that you won't even need another game ever, except for maybe the number 1 on this list. So grab that $1 million scale, rise up to the heavens, and buy yourself this goldmine of a game.
Not to ruin the Skell lovin', but shouldn't the two of us go to maintenance first?
What? Why? You can walk just fine. I think this girl may be insane.
Insane for Skells? Oh yeah, baby. Hold it right there!
What the?
So long as evil darkens this world, the red flame of justice will burn anew! Razor Force, assemble! Huh?
We have made it to the number 1 spot, and that spot is for Trails in the Sky First Chapter. I have enjoyed many Falcom games over the years, but there has long been a dark spot, and that was the Trails series. Unless you wanted to play on Steam, there really wasn't a great way to play the first game in this long series. Now, you can, and it has been remade beautifully in 3D with 60 frames per second and in 4K on Nintendo Switch 2. You get to take on the roles of Estelle and Joshua Bright as they travel the world to earn the right to be called full-time bracers. Each town that you travel to has its own story and a new character that you meet, and it all builds up to a big showdown in the royal capital of Grancel on the Queen's birthday. The writing in this game is so good that you can understand why the series has gone on for so long. And they have added new battle mechanics from the later Trails game, so now it has one of the greatest battle systems of all time. There's action combat that you can use on weaker enemies, and you can also use it to stun your opponents when you switch it to turn-based battles. Whenever you score a critical hit or use a spell that is strong against your enemy, you can do a combo move with your teammates, and once you have filled up your combo meter, you can unleash a full-on team attack. The battle system makes every battle seem so snappy that they are never a chore to do. There's also a 10-hour demo that you can play for free. This game has one of the wildest cliffhanger endings I've seen, and there's even a trailer for Chapter 2 at the end, so you know this is going to be making an appearance next year. The characters are incredibly charming, and the story is super engaging, so what are you waiting for? Get off your butt and go buy this game, or the white monkey sheep fist will get you. And of course, thank you so much for watching this video all the way through, and don't forget to check out new NintenDomain podcast episodes every Friday. Later.
May the goddess of the sky be our witness. And may this blessed day last forever.
Eternal peace to Liberal.
Eternal glory to Liberal!
So it's a happy ending after all. But just as it should be.